Real Madrid began this season with a clarity of purpose and 3 wins in a row, but behind the early optimism sits a patient, almost surgical approach to returning 4 of their most talked about players: Jude Bellingham, Ferland Mendy, Eduardo Camavinga and Endrick, and the club has made plain that headlines will not dictate medical decisions. The choice to avoid rushing anyone back is not drama. It is a deliberate policy that reflects lessons from modern sports medicine and a manager who understands that selling short a long season for a quick headline is a dangerous bargain. Reports from inside the club and the sports press underline that Madrid will not risk fresh injuries by forcing partial returns under pressure. Each case is different, but the message is the same: steady, staged reintegration. Jude Bellingham remains the most prominent absence. Not because his talent is unknowable, but because his recovery follows a surgical procedure and a careful protocol. Sources close to the squad suggest that Bellingham is edging closer to limited training windows and controlled contact sessions, but the club has emphasized a zero-risk approach, preferring to manage minutes and load rather than gamble on an immediate return. That cautious optimism over Bellingham's progress has been echoed across midfield planning, with staff mapping step-by-step plans rather than setting hard return dates. Eduardo Camavinga's situation is more optimistic on paper. The ankle issue that kept him out appears to be in its final phase, and the international break was always seen as an ideal window to accelerate his comeback. Still, the club has been deliberate, getting his sharpness back in training first, then assessing match readiness, because what Camavinga brings, dynamism and tactical versatility, is too valuable to reintroduce half-fit. Ferland Mendy, a left-back who has had his own history of setbacks, is likewise described as being in the closing stages of recovery. The difference is the club won't slot him straight back into a high-octane fixture without proving match fitness in controlled minutes. Endrick, the young striker whose progress excites fans, is also being handled with particular caution because the physical and mental demands placed on teenagers breaking into elite senior football can be brutal. Xabi Alonso's early months in the job have been positively received inside the dressing room, and while the manager wants his best players available, he has shown a pragmatic streak. The current unbeaten run in La Liga, 3 wins from 3, gives Alonso breathing space to prioritise long-term squad health over a quick short-term patch. This depth has already been tested and, crucially, has passed enough of its early exams to give Madrid the luxury of saying, and not yet, to premature return. The managerial message is clear. Internal competition and form will define selections, not external pressure or the size of a player's name on the team sheet. What does that mean for Madrid's next few fixtures? In practical terms, it means rotations and tactical adjustments that rely on the players who are fit now, a chance for others to stake claims and for the coach to refine his best combinations before reintroducing stars into a settled rhythm. It also means that when the 4 do return, their reintegration could cause a mini-tactical shake-up. Alonso will need to decide whether to restore a pre-injury hierarchy or to reward those who have seized the moment. Either way, the timing of each comeback will be treated like a substitution of risk, measured, evidence-based and aligned with a season plan rather than a single match headline. For fans, this is a test of patience. The instinct is always to want your icons back as soon as possible, but the hard truth in elite football is that one poorly timed return can cost weeks, sometimes months of availability. Real Madrid's medical and coaching teams look determined to avoid that mistake, which may be why they are willing to start the season slightly under the radar and aim to peak later when fitness, form and tactics line up. The next few weeks will reveal how well that strategy works, whether Alonso's depth can carry the load through the busy fixture list, and whether the carefully managed returns deliver the boost Madrid expects. Either way, the club's message is already clear. Talent is irreplaceable, but regeneration is patient, and this season the club is betting on the long game rather than a short sprint to headline.